Well, hello. It is Tuesday, March 15th, and we're on the seventh day of our 40 days of prayer. We're on page 13 of the prayer guide, and the topic for today is to take a soil test, reflecting on the condition of our heart as we consider what it is that we're willing to do for God's glory, what it is that we're willing to do in order to conform or to cooperate with the purpose that we've been created for. Jesus tells a parable to his disciples. He says, this is in Matthew chapter 13. That same day, Jesus went out of the house and beside the sea, and the great crowds gathered about him, so that he got into a boat and sat down. And the whole crowd stood on the beach, and he told them many things in parables, saying, a sower went out to sow. And as he sowed, some seeds fell along the path, and the birds came and devoured them. Other seeds fell on rocky ground, where they did not have much soil, and immediately they sprang up, since they had no depth of soil. But when the sun rose, they were scorched, and since they had no root, they withered away. Other seeds fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked them. Other seeds fell on good soil and produced grain, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. Well, then the disciples ask, what does that mean? Explain to us the meaning of the parable. And he says, Jesus explains in verse 18, hear then the parable of the sower. When anyone hears the word of the kingdom and does not understand it, the evil one comes and snatches away what has been sown in his heart. This is what was sown along the path. As for what was sown on rocky ground, this is the one who hears the word and immediately receives it with joy. Yet he has no root in himself, but endures for a while, and when tribulation or persecution arises on account of the word, immediately he falls away. As for what was sown among thorns, this is the one who hears the word, but the cares of the world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and it proves unfruitful. As for what was sown on good soil, this is the one who hears the word and understands it. He indeed bears fruit and yields, in one case 100-fold, in another 60, and in another 30. It is the meaning of the parable when we pray that God would give us discernment for the kind of heart that we have, whether we are distracted or whether we're shallow or whether we're productive. We're not testing the power or the effectiveness of the word, because the word is good. The sower goes out and sows the word, and the word has power in it. The question is, will the soil receive the word? Will the soil remain impenetrable to the word, or when the soil penetrates into the ground, will the soil expel it, or will the plants be choked out, or will the conditions be right? And the conditions are humility, willingness. We've talked about those qualities already. Faithfulness, and the ability to receive the word and to say yes to it. So Paul says in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, that's what's required of stewards, those who have a stewardship, those who have a responsibility, and certainly ground is a responsibility towards seed. What's required of stewards is that they're faithful. Nothing else is required. I pray that as you read and pray today and consider your own heart, that this would be an encouragement to you. What's required of us is faithfulness. The word is good, and we just need to come along and say yes to it when we receive it, when we hear it.